I had autoimmune diseases, one that looked like it was turning into lupus. I have a demyelination autoimmune disease, which is very similar to MS. I had Graves' disease and had my thyroid out, and when they took my thyroid out, they found cancer in it. And I had gone from being highly functional, great executive job, very athletic, to being a tiny sliver of myself. And I was so sick. I had fibromyalgia. The demyelination, they said, was causing these sharp pains. They would just show up randomly and there was nothing they could do. I was on about 7 medications and I took gabapentin at night to help me sleep. I first read Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself a little over a year ago now. And I started doing the meditations. And I wasn't very religious at it. You know, I have to say, I had never meditated before in my life, so to go from nothing to an hour and 15 minutes was hard. And plus I remember sometimes, I mean, I was in so much pain at times that if I had headphones on, it would be too much pressure on my neck. I ended up signing up for a progressive workshop in September, I think. The workshop was going to be in February in Tampa, and I kind of had my eye on that, but I still wasn't 100% in until I was diagnosed with breast cancer. They said that I had stage 2 HER2 positive breast cancer, that it was extremely aggressive. They wanted to do surgery right away, followed by chemotherapy and radiation. When you signed up for the progressive, I got an intensive workshop, and I watched that thing 3 or 4 times, and I took notes and I learned. Then I signed up for Joe's teleclass, and I listened to the previous 3 months, and I actually took notes on the phone calls. I mean, I was so motivated, and I learned. And then I actually got through the meditations. I was doing them on a daily basis, and right before Christmas, I went in for an MRI that they needed to do before they wanted me to have surgery. And the MRI showed I had an enlarged heart. So they said that they weren't sure if I could get surgery. So I literally spent my holiday vacation. I must have meditated about 3 times a day. I listened to all Joe's things, so I heard that the Blessing of the Energy Centers was the one that was healing the most people. And so I bought the Blessing of the Energy Centers. I did that one. I did placebo. I did Breaking the Habit. On December 22nd, my MRI said my heart was too big. On January 3rd, I went to a cardiologist, and he said he has no idea what happened, but my heart was smaller than average. And I knew that, I mean, I knew. So anyways, since then, it's been kind of a long road. I go in and I go out. In terms of my dedication, I think that it's really easy to get distracted. And so one of the things that I've done now in the past few months when I get distracted is I start listening to testimonials that are on YouTube, and I start hearing what other people have done. I also, on each of Dr. Joe's meditations that I bought, it comes with instructions at the beginning, and I re-listen to the instructions because then it reminds me of what it is I'm doing, and for some reason that's really made a huge difference for me. All I can say is that I'm not the same person. I literally forgot that I had fibromyalgia until someone reminded me. I don't have nerve pain anymore. I'm not only not on 6 of the 7 medications I was on, but the only one I'm on is my thyroid medication. And when I went to see my endocrinologist in April, she told me my thyroid grew back. And that she's such a cool woman. And I told her all about Dr. Joe, and she's so interested. And she said that next time I see her, she actually wants to try getting me off the medication to see if my thyroid will start working again. I had an MRI. I have not had surgery or chemo, and I had an MRI in June, and I have no sign of cancer left. But one of the things that's just so extremely difficult is that when you're dealing with cancer, I've never, out of all the illnesses I've had, I have never had doctors tell me, you will throw your life away. Look at me straight in the eye and say, you will throw your life away if you don't do this now. Chemotherapy or radiation. And I remember one of the meditations Dr. Joe says, you know courage. What is courage? And feel courage. And I would sit there and think to myself, I don't know what courage feels like. And then I was just talking to my daughter recently, and I was like, you know what courage feels like? Courage feels like when you talk to dozens of doctors and and friends that are going through this, and you can't find one person that in your life that will agree with what you wanted, that you know in your heart you need to do, and I think that's courage. And anyways, I'm proud of myself for the first time. And I'll tell you another like blessing is that out of all of this, I have told my kids about Dr. Joe. I have 2 amazing girls, 13 and 15. I've told them, I've actually had them watch a video of his when he talked about his daughter manifesting a shopping spree. So they fell in love with him. And but I've never told them much about anything else. And I think because of the change in me, because they come to me now and ask me questions about what should I do? Should I eat this? What should I do for it is, I'm so grateful. I can't even, there's no words. That's all.